I have a background in mechanics and also horticulture, so I've always been very interested in plants, and really just got into essential oils through wanting to eliminate some toxins in my immediate environment. And I turned to essential oils to do that. And having that kind of science and mechanical background, I'm always into the hows and the whys. So that's why, when I first got into doTERRA essential oils, I wanted to know why doTERRA. And not only why, but how does doTERRA make it possible to be the most pure essential oils? What's their testing process is all about? What are they testing for, and that kind of thing. So that's what really sparked my interest with the whole purity and testing, is the whole science part of it. And it's really important to know why we choose this brand. And I think that many people overlook the importance of testing, or just don't understand what exactly is being tested for. So I really like to educate people on that when I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We love having you here today. So let's just kind of go into like 3 cool things about essential oils, 3 ways to use them, and then we dive deeper into that. Yeah,
that sounds great.
Shall we share a little screen here? A little presentation we can share. Not that one. This one. All right.
All right, yes. So we start. Essential oils are natural and safe. They are extracted from plants, from flowers, from barks, from seeds, and they are essential to the plant. They help to protect the plant from environmental threats, from predators, even from decay. It protects the plant. So the same way that they protect the plant, they can protect us. So that's one cool thing about essential oils. And let's move to the second cool thing about essential oils.
So essential oils are effective. Sometimes they could even be a little faster and more effective than our modern approaches to health problems. And this is because essential oils can permeate the cell membrane. So there's a little picture here that you can see in this presentation. There's like a picture of a cell, and you see the essential oil is kind of going, penetrating that membrane of the cell. Usually when we have a bacterial infection, our bacteria stays outside of the cell. That's why we can take antibiotics, and it helps with bacterial infections. If you go to the doctor and you have a viral infection, the doctor is just going to tell you to go back home and take time, drink some water, and take some rest. But with essential oils, we can have them, right? We can have them in our home and use them, and they are so small that they can penetrate the cell membrane and attack the virus from the inside of the cell. So this is why they can be sometimes even more effective than more modern approaches like taking antibiotics. And so this is why an example for the On Guard blend, which is known as the protective blend, is one that promotes healthy immune function. So all the essential oils that are in that blend help with immunity. And you have oils like cinnamon and clove and wild orange. What else is in there? Is there some eucalyptus in there?
Rosemary.
So there've been research has been found that these oils, when working together, help to boost immunity. It also supports with soothing sore throat. I was camping this weekend, and with a lot of the dirt and everything, I was feeling my throat a little bit. And I just grabbed a few drops of On Guard and massaged my throat here. I never felt anything moving forward past that. So I know that I always can use my On Guard whenever I'm feeling, to support with environmental threats. You can also use this specific one to clean your home as well. So not only for the body, but also to cleanse the air. So diffusing it, so it helps to kill. So it's antibacterial and antiviral.
And the third cool thing about essential oils are affordable. They really empower us to take charge of our health in a very easy and safe way from the comfort of our home or wherever we are. This is one of the tools that we use in our everyday life and practices with all of our clients, friends, students, to really empower you to take charge of your health as well with these gifts of the earth.
Yeah, so she said they're affordable. There are 250 drops in a bottle, in a 15 milliliter bottle. And sometimes a recipe asks for 1 or 2 drops. So think of the many uses that you can do that. Not only that, but we have one oil, for example, lavender oil. They call it the Swiss knife of the essential oils because you can use it for so much. You can use it to calm the mind, calming the emotions. You can use it for skin. So if you have a bug bite, if you have anything that has to do with like broken skin, things like that, lavender. Again, I was camping this week and I always bring my oils everywhere. And one of the neighbors is super cool 10-year-old girls. One of them got stung by a bee and I had lavender with me. So I put lavender on her. She went to the river, came back, and it was gone. She's like, look, it's gone. And I was like, oh my God, I should have done it before and after picture. And then lavender can also be used and it works because it's an antihistamine. And you can also use it for sleep.
For burns in the skin.
So it has many, one oil can have many uses, and that's why it's also cost effective.
And also think about all the time and money that they can save you when you're starting to feel like there's something going on. You have to take time off to go to the doctor. You have to make an appointment, pay for medicine and all of these things. And what I found is like, as soon as I feel like I have something coming up, I use my essential oils, and it has saved me so much time and money. So that's why we share this information with you guys.
All right, so then the 3 ways that we can use these essential oils. One way is aromatic, another way is topical, and the third way is internal. Again, we are talking about doTERRA essential oils. We are doTERRA wellness advocates, so is Kristina, and these are the only oils that we advocate for taking internally. So many ways to take it to diffuser aromatically. This is one of the most popular ways. You can use a diffuser. You can smell it right from the bottle. You put it on your hand and cup and smell that way. There are many other ways that you can create passive diffusers, and we're going to have a class coming up on the 17th, so not next Tuesday, but the following, where we're going to be teaching you how to create your own diffusers, passive diffusers. So you can recycle and use different things that you might already have at home so that you can diffuse this oil. So again, using it through our sense of smell. So breathing in through the nose. Second way.
The second way is topically. Now, not every oil can be used topically neat in the skin. Some can, some can't. So there's hot oils, there are cold oils. So like peppermint, you can apply it directly into the skin, but very little. Like something like oregano or cinnamon, you want to dilute it a lot. If we're using oils with kids topically, we always want to dilute the oils. We can apply them to the soles of the feet because the pores in the feet are a lot larger, and the essential oils go directly into the bloodstream super fast. We can apply them in our lotion. There's many ways that we can use them topically. For massage, to soothe your muscles, for inflammation in the joints. What else?
There's so much, you guys. Once, if you're already our customer, you know that we're holding these classes and we support you in every way that we can. If you're watching this, maybe you're watching a replay, you don't have oils yet, just know that when you join doTERRA with us, we become your wellness advocates. That means that we're there for you every step of the way. Any questions that you have, anything, you're going to have us as your advocates and teaching you on how to use this oil. So there's so many different ways, and this is why we hold these classes. And then the last way, like I said, we can use them internal. Some people have their favorite ways how they use it, but some of the ways that you can use internal is in water, in veggie caps, under your tongue.
My favorite way, cooking, making elixirs, tonics, cocktails, mocktails.
And we have a class already that we've made with that, making drinks. And next Tuesday, our next class is in the kitchen with essential oils. We're going to invite our friend Ashley and her partner Elaine, and they have a catering company called Elevated Noms, and they use essential oils. So they're going to be joining us next Tuesday, teaching us how to infuse essential oils in olive oil, and then butters and syrups and all different things.
They create magic in the kitchen. They're lovers, and they put so much love and passion into their food, and I'm sure we're going to learn lots of good tips there.
Awesome. All right, so you guys have any questions about anything that we just talked about, please type in the chat. I'll just say hello in the chat so you can see it pop up. And if not, then we are, hi, Libby, how are you? Hi, Marquez, welcome, guys. Yeah. All right, so that's, you know, the very basics of essential oils, pretty much. They're awesome. They serve as natural solutions for your home, either to take care of your home, cleanse your home, cleanse the air, purify the air, or also for your well-being, whether it's mental, emotional. Last week's class with Angela was awesome on mental, emotional health. You can also use it for, you know, any digestive. We also had a class with Holly who's in the house about digestion. So there's so many things that you can use essential oils for. And this is why we're here spending this evening with you so that we can keep educating you. And one of my things that I'm super curious to learn more about is what Kristina is going to talk to us about. So Kristina, I give it all to you.
All right.
Oh, wait, Marquez is like, what are the 3 ways to use essential oils? I missed the middle one. All right, so we've got aromatic, so breathing it in. We've got topical, on your skin, and then we've got internal. Okay, we can drink it, eat it with food, or add it in an essential oil capsule, like a vegetable capsule. So for example, let's say you're having digestion, you can use Digest and essential oil in a capsule and drink it to help you with that. Or you can massage it on your stomach. Okay, that's kind of the 2 ways to use it that way. You can also just breathing it and smell it that way. Okay.
All right.
All right, Kristina, it's all yours. Okay, I gotta share the screen. That's right. I'm waiting for you, Barbara. All right. Please. See, where did we go to that? Hold on. There.
All right.
That works.
That works. So, I mean, we know that essential oils have been around and have been in use for thousands of years. I don't know if anybody else has picked up on probably the last couple of decades or so. It seems like they've really grown in popularity as a product to add to your, you know, health and wellness routine, which means you can buy essential oils pretty much anywhere, but it matters what brands we buy. And that's where we'll get into the next slide. The question is, why doTERRA? You know, a lot of people ask, why doTERRA, when there's all these brands out there, when I can go to Walgreens or I can go to my health food store and get what they might think is a reputable brand. And that might be somewhat true. But doTERRA is really, really big on not only testing, but several things. They really support purpose-driven initiatives. I won't go into all of that here. Their healing hands, co-impact sourcing, I mean, so much. But they also really lead the game in testing, transparency, sourcing. Testing was what we really want to talk about today, especially after Barb and Jesicca speaking about 3 different ways that we can use essential oils. If we're going to be using essential oils topically and especially internally, we absolutely have to know that they've been tested to their utmost potential to make sure that there is nothing in there that we don't want to be, you know, ingesting or putting on our skin. So that brings me to the next topic. Thank you, love. So again, to reiterate testing, we know that doTERRA is the most tested and the most trusted, which we'll get into, because each batch goes through a battery of rigorous tests, and that ensures that you and your family receive the most pure, potent, effective, and safe essential oils. And I'm going to keep referring to this website throughout the next few minutes, thesource2you.com. If you visit that website, there's a wealth of information on there about the different types of testing. You can actually type in the number on the bottom of your bottle and get that specific test for that specific batch that you have. There's just so many resources on there. So I wanted to make sure that I included this. So we'll go off to the next slide though, so that we can talk about what is CPTG. CPTG stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And the reason why this was created is because there's no universally accepted standard for essential oil quality. So doTERRA created this testing process so that they could ensure the purity of their oils. And it involves a series of tests and meticulous protocols to maintain purity, potency, and also consistency between batch to batch. So when they combine this CPTG process with responsible sourcing practices, the process guarantees that no added fillers, synthetics, harmful contaminants, anything else enter the essential oils at any point during the production process. Plus, this guarantees that the ideal ratio of volatile compounds is present for maximum efficacy and reliability. So we can move on to the next slide. So these are all the tests that doTERRA uses on their oils. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I know in my experience and before I found out about doTERRA years and years and years ago, it seemed like all the other oils that I was looking at, most of them have the GCMS testing. It'll say a little bit on the label about their GCMS test, and you can go to this website to look that up. In my experience, and I've tried to look those up on the other brand of oils, for one, they're not very easy to find, even when they give you the information on how to find them. And two, those are only 2 tests. And here we have 8 tests that doTERRA is completing on every single batch of their essential oil. I'll go through them really quick. The first one is the organoleptic testing. They do a microbial testing, gas chromatography, and mass spectrometry. Those are the 2 that you typically find on other essential oil brand bottles. The Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, that's a mouthful, chirality testing, isotopic analysis, and heavy metal testing. Now, for the purpose of today's webinar, I'm not going to go into what all of these do, how they're performed. It's pretty involved. But again, I'll refer back to that source2u.com website, because if anybody's really interested in how this stuff is completed and what goes on, that website gives you all of that information. And it's a lot of really, really great information. I kind of like to geek out on that sometimes. But we can go to the next slide. So why all of this testing? Well, again, we'll go back to, if we're going to use these essential oils internally or on our skin, we want to know that we're getting, pure oils. So it's really important to know what are things that can be found in oils that aren't tested. So contamination is one of them. That's kind of one we hear about a lot, and kind of more the obvious one, easier to test for. It's often unintentional. And it can occur when impurities make it into a batch of essential oil. Some examples of contamination are improper cleaning and sanitizing of equipment, lack of resources or proper equipment in developing countries where a lot of the plants that we get our essential oils come from, and impurities that can be introduced during the growing process, like heavy metals. We obviously don't want to be putting that on in our bodies. Adulteration, that's a little bit more tricky. That's the intentional inclusion of compromising substances, natural or synthetic, that will definitely affect the effectiveness and the safety of a product. And believe it or not, experts estimate that 80% of commercially available pure essential oils are adulterated in some way. So that's a pretty scary fact, So that's why we really want to look to a company that is going to be very transparent and perform all of these tests. One of the most concerning types of adulteration is the use of synthetic materials, because of course, that can be harmful to our health, and we don't want that in our oils. It's very easy to synthesize some of the chemicals that can be found in essential oils by using byproducts from the petroleum industry. So if that doesn't sound icky, I don't know what does, but wintergreen is a really good example of that. So wintergreen is mostly methyl salicylate. Now, and that can be derived from petroleum byproduct, and that can be added to wintergreen, and it won't smell any different. You wouldn't really ever notice. The only way that you're going to find out if somebody had put synthetic methyl salicylate in wintergreen is if you have it carbon dated. How that works is that if they carbon date that oil and your oil comes back as 7 million years old, you're going to know that something synthetic was put into that, because that wintergreen plant isn't 7 million years old. So your typical GCMS testing is not going to find that. So it's things like that, that it's really important to have all these tests. Another big one, frankincense, that's the king of oils. We often go to that oil for so many things. I mean, it's antiviral, antimicrobial, anti-tumoral, like all kinds. I use it for pretty much everything. it's quite expensive. So a lot of people are going to say, well, why spend $70 on a bottle of frankincense when I can go to the health food store? Must be healthy if it's at the health food store, and pay $15. Well, the problem with that is one of the main constituents in frankincense is alpha pinene, and that can also be synthesized through the paper making industry. So oftentimes your less expensive oils will have that constituent taken from the paper industry and put in the frankincense, and you would never know it. It tests through most testing because it's the same constituent. But what it actually takes like, I don't know, it takes a lot of research. It takes a scientist with a lot of experience analyzing essential oils, that has a massive database, that has been analyzing oils for years and has thousands of samples to compare that batch of frankincense to see if something like that has been, inadvertently or intentionally put into frankincense. Not many other oil companies are employing scientists like that, and they do not have those rigorous tests like doTERRA does. So again, I don't think I would be trusting another company to be putting their oils on my body or taken internally. And again, if you go back to that 80% of oils could be, contaminated or adulterated, yeah, then we definitely want to look at testing and how, how things are tested. So we can go on to the next slide. So again, we go back to transparency. Really, the key to ensuring that your essential oils are safe and pure is transparency. If you can answer questions like, do I know where my oils come from? Are they properly tested? Then, you can have peace of mind about the quality and the purity of your essential oil. And again, this is a really good picture that goes back to what I was talking about before. If you look on the bottom of your bottle, and you go to that source2u.com, you can type that in, and I've done it, and I've got a 2-page report of all the constituents that were in it, like pass or fail, this or that. And you can see that it comes from another company. It's not doTERRA performing these tests. So it's not like a conflict of interest. They're sending this out to another company and telling these other companies, these are the tests that we want, and you need to make sure that they pass. So, they're employing a third party, which is very, very important. And then we can go on to the next one. So that really concludes a really scaled back presentation description, if you will, on why testing and looking at this stuff is so important, because essential oils are everywhere. And so you really have to decide which oils are worthy of being used by you and your family. And like we keep saying, if you're going to use them internally on your body, even for aromatherapy, but especially internally, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting the most pure oils, because you want to make sure that it's safe. I mean, that's why we turn to essential oils anyways, right? We're trying to look for non-toxic ways to benefit ourselves, benefit our health, get toxins away from our families. So yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we're looking into testing and purity and all that stuff.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that information.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you girls for having me. It's fun to talk about.
This is such an important part because, a lot of people look into shifting the way that they eat, adding more exercise to their life. Now it's like a little less technology, right? But the last thing in their mind, it's like, it's thinking about the products they're using for their skin, the products they're using to clean the home. That's like the last thing in their mind. I still, to this day, sometimes I go visit, let's say, like you think of a yoga teacher or somebody who's in the holistic field that it's eating healthier and organic and has a little more awareness around that. They're still using your Walgreens stuff, your Colgate, your things like that have fluoride and have toxins, and they just don't know. And this is why we're doing this, to bring that education out. People can share it and they can start to learn that there are better options are there. These 3 ways that we use the essential oils are the 3 ways that we're taking in information into our bodies, and our bodies receiving that and doing something with that. And, of course, there's the other 2 ways, which is through our eyes and ears. So what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're, listening to, all that. It's also programming. It's programming our mind. So that also has an effect, mental, emotional state. But think of like when people use those patches, the cigarette patches, or when they're using your a cream for pain. There's a reason why it works, because it's going in through the skin and we're absorbing that, and the body's doing something like that. And so if we are doing that with essential oils, then this needs to be something just like we do for that with our food. We try to buy organic, we try to buy as clean as possible. We want to do the same thing with our essential oils if we're putting them on our skin or taking them internally, just like you said, Kristina, 100%. And if for me it's a red flag if I look at this, I go to the store and the essential oil says only for aromatic use, like so if it's safe for my nose, why wouldn't it be safe for my skin or internal? Okay, because I'm also assimilating that information, taking it through the nose, and it's having an effect. It's having an effect on my limbic system as it goes into the olfactory nerve, into the limbic system. It's having an effect on my emotions. I know that if I go into a store and they have plugins, or I go into a house and they have synthetic fragrances, immediately, like I get a little bit of a headache. I feel it. Perfume for me, I can't do it. Somebody hugs me and they have perfume, the perfume stays with me, I have to go shower. Or if it's somebody that uses this perfume all the time, I got to tell them I can't hug you.
Yeah.
I'm so sensitive to it now.
One thing I did notice on when I first came into my doTERRA journey or whatnot months and months ago, I started looking up, what oils to take internally, this and that. I couldn't find anything online. And after getting more and more into doTERRA, I realized the reason why is because no other oils can or would say that you can take them internally, because they know that they're not properly tested. And doTERRA will tell you that, hey, these oils that are safe to be taken internally, because some aren't, no matter what they are, but the ones that can be ingested, they're safe, they're pure, and this is how you take them internally. So it was kind of like when I figured out, why can't I find anywhere online that tells me how to take something in a capsule or what to take or whatever, because they won't tell you.
Not sometimes, every time. If a batch comes back not 100% pure, they will take it back. They will get rid of that batch and not use it. That's why sometimes we might have shortage on a specific oil, because maybe that batch didn't pass the tests, the standards, exactly. So and we're happy about that. Like, don't put out a batch that's not 100% pure out if we're sitting here and standing by and advocating for you to be able to use these essential oils topically and especially for therapeutic use. If we're using them as natural solutions, as natural medicines, we want to make sure that we're using something that's fully pure. And that also has an effect on the effectiveness of the oil. Because I've had people telling me, well, yeah, I've been using lavender, but it doesn't really work for me. It doesn't really help me with my sleep. Okay, where are you getting your lavender from? Oh, I got it from the vitamin shop. All right, what's the brand? This one. All right, I'm going to give you a sample of my lavender and tell me how that works. First night, they fall asleep. They sleep through the night. Why? Okay, the effectiveness, the potency, the purity affects how potent it is and how it's going to work for that therapeutic purpose.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Right. We're doing really good on time.
Any questions from anyone? Feel free to unmute yourself, those friends on the Zoom, or if you have any question, you can type it into the message. All right, let me just kind of check in here with the Facebook and see what's happening there. We kind of like forget about our friends on the Facebook. There you go. All right, go back to the Zoom. I'm going to go to here for a moment. Okay. All right, you guys.
We have a question.
Go ahead.
The difference between testing from doTERRA versus other therapeutic grade essential oil companies, like what is so specifically unique to doTERRA's testing versus other companies that say they're therapeutic grade?
Well, the other companies do, and I say the others. I mean, I would say, you know, any other brand of company that I would use. They do offer, or they do have not CBD, sorry, GCMS testing. So they do a couple different kinds of tests, which mainly that's going to test mostly for contaminants, but it's still going to miss a lot of those like really tricky adultering things, like I was telling you about with the frankincense and the wintergreen. Like
Right.
that would pass through any kind of standard testing. But that would be the main difference: GCMS versus the CPTG testing protocol. Like I said, there's 8 different tests that doTERRA performs versus the 2 that most other brands perform on their oils. Is that what you're asking?
Okay, so yeah, so doTERRA tests more. They test more, period. Just 8 versus 2 rounds of testing.
Exactly. And there's actually subsets of each of those 8 tests. So each of those 8 tests will go into probably 5, 6, 7, 8 more tests. I think there's actually like 54 or something like that parts that doTERRA oils go through altogether. Because notice, like,
Wow.
when I listed those 8 tests, carbon dating wasn't one of them, but carbon dating is a subset of what's underneath one of those types of tests. And that's where going to that source2you.com and looking up all of those tests and all of the details will lay out exactly what those include. So it's actually a lot more than 8 tests.
Right. That's cool. Okay. Thanks, KB.
And also, all this information is also, like you said, it's in that Source2You website, but it's also on the doTERRA website. There's so much information. They have an amazing blog. They have all their past magazines in like e-magazines. There's just so much information. You can really dive in and really educate yourself on this. So there's just so, you know, we can only do so much in these classes. And then, you know, you've got your doTERRA website. And I also want to speak to those of you, I know my friend Marquez is here. He doesn't have, he does have actually a doTERRA essential oil. But for those of you who might be watching the replay, if you're not one of our customers, there is a way that you can get this amazing oils in your home if you are looking to switch into more natural solutions to take care of you, to take care of your home and your family. And that's by becoming a wholesale customer with us. Either, you know, if you were invited here by Jesicca or by me or anyone else, you reach out to them and they support you with that. I know that we have a few wellness advocates here on the Zoom call as well. And so if they're sharing this with you, please reach out to them. But once you become our customer, you know, you become kind of like
babies.
not our baby, because we take really good care of you. We advocate for your wellness and your health. You get a consultation with us, which we tell you all about how to use your account. And then we also hear from you. What are the things that you want support with? Do you have digestive issues? Do you have sleep issues? Do you have pain? What's going on that you want to start to use your essential oils for? And then we can suggest best practices for you and protocols and things that you can do. We also educate you on the best way to get your oils, how to get free oils and all that stuff if you're into getting free stuff. And then if you are a yoga teacher, if you are a health coach, if you're in the holistic field at all, or the wellness field, and you're feeling like, you know what, I'd like to start using essential oils, and I also want to support my clients with this, then we can also help you with that. We have a class coming up at the end of November 24th, which is how to become a wellness advocate, which is what we do. We're going to invite our friend Megan here to guide us into this journey of becoming a wellness advocate so that you can also support your family and friends and also create your own business by being a doTERRA essential oils educator. So if that's your jam, you reach out to us and we support you with that as well. So the ways that you start your order, you can start an order by getting your wholesale membership at $35. That's just like a Costco membership where you pay, you know, your fee, and then you have a whole year that you get your products at 25% off the retail price. And that's how you're a wholesale customer. You could also waive that fee by purchasing one of the enrollment kits that doTERRA has already created for you. So they've created different kits for different price points and just different products. And those kits are even less than the wholesale price. So they're a little less than that 25% off. So either getting a kit or getting your $35 enrollment membership, and then you add 1 or 2 or whatever oils that you want. Again, we support you and help you with that process. And once you get your oils, then we have that membership overview with you, and to see how we can support you even further.
Beautiful. Well said.
All right, so save this link will give you access to our next classes. Next Tuesday, we've got In the Kitchen with Elevated Noms. And then we have the next Tuesday, we're going to have our friend Lindsey Teeter here. We're going to be creating passive diffusers and also creating do-it-yourself holiday gifts with maybe some of your old bottles that you have, and just creating really fun things with essential oils that you can give as gifts. Then we're going to have our friend Megan, and we're going to talk about the business of doTERRA and how to become a wellness advocate. So that's what we got for you in November. Thank you guys so much for being present this evening. We appreciate you. We love you. Please share this link once we have it either on the Facebook or once you get it in the email from us. Share it with your friends so we can get the word out.
And thank you girls so much for having me. That was a lot of fun being with you girls. So
thank you for all this information. We've never had a class like this, so I'm super, super stoked for this, and I can't wait to have you again.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Kristina, really good, but curious, Kristina. Kristina, Kara wants to know, what's your favorite oil?
Ooh, that's an easy one. Manuka.
Ooh, Manuka. That's the one from Australia, yeah?
Mm-hmm. How do you use Manuka?
Yeah.
Oh, I typically use it for diffusing and for making perfume blends. I use it a lot in rollers, perfume blends, and diffusing.
Oh,
it's just a beautiful wood smell. I don't know, it just brings back a lot of really good memories. So I like to smell it a lot.
Oh, I love that. So one thing that I remember from Manuka, I got it in last year's kit. No. The kit. It was the kit.
Oh, that's right. I have it too.
The convention kit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
they don't sell it by itself. They only sell it in the Australian market by itself. Mm-hmm. But they said that it was like tea tree on steroids. That's what I remember from Manuka.
And it smells nothing like tea tree, but it's a type of Melaleuca. So, which I didn't even realize that when I first started using it, a couple years ago. And then I realized that. I was like, wow, I never knew.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing, because I have not been using that one.
Oh, I just think it smells amazing. As far as like uses goes, health-wise and stuff like that, I definitely use frankincense a lot.
Nice. And Kira, what's your favorite?
I don't know. I think spearmint and copaiba are like my tops. But yeah, I love them. I've never ever like tried Manuka. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, sometimes when I can't find my tea tree, and then I'll use the Manuka, just because I remember it's like, it's like even more potent than, whatever I'm using tea tree for.
Do you remember that the other tea tree that came out? It was like a special edition. It smells so good.
I don't remember that one.
It's all right. I really like that one. What's your favorite? Oh, it's so hard, right?
I go through phases, just like the moon. I go through phases of my essential oils. Right now, you guys, black spruce, rosemary. I guess rosemary
is good for this. Those are great for the season.
I love rosemary, but black spruce, rosemary, and wild orange. It's a blend that right now it's what I'm diffusing in my house. I have it in all my diffusers. I just love it. The black spruce, I love it around this time a lot. But I think the one that I really use the most is On Guard. I think when I look at I have yet to throw out one essential oil bottle. I either reuse them or I do something with them. But when I look at all my bottles, the one that I have the most is On Guard. Then it's Breathe. And then it's, what's the third one? On Guard, Breathe, Digest, Zen.
Yeah.
Breathe, Digest, Zen. the blends. Manuka, you said smell good, but it's good for what?
Oh, I would honestly have to go get my little essential oils Bible.
Right
I
here.
don't remember because I've always just simply loved the scent. I know it's got some health benefits for sure.
You're attracted.
Do.
If it's like tea tree on steroids, then you're gonna have for skin. You're also gonna have, like infections, fungal things like that.
Skin issues. Let's see.
Well, and I figured because Manuka honey, which comes from the tree, from the flower of the tree, is a superfood, if you will, and you have to make sure that you're getting it pure from New Zealand, and it's very expensive, but that is an antimicrobial, antiviral, anti everything, and I always have that in my house. Now they don't smell the same, but it's from the same. The Manuka honey is a little bitter. It's not as sweet as typical honeys, but
They don't have it on the app.
I didn't see it on the app. Leaf, seed, bark, gum. Alpha-pinene.
Primary benefits.
Where is it? Promotes feelings of relaxation, cleanses and freshens the air, promotes the appearance of smooth, healthy skin, and supports healthy immune system. So a lot like that tea tree. But Manuka is not available for sale by itself. It just came in the kit. Sometimes it's available like the free product of the month and things like that. But Mom, I'll give you some. To try. I'll give you some. All right, you guys.
I'm going to say one that they don't sell all the time. Dang it.
Yeah.
Special. It's special once a year.
So that, you guys, so the November new products.
Oh, yes.
You guys, they came out yesterday. They have an adaptive bath oil. Okay. I bought 2 of them and they're already about 80% sold out. So here's the thing. So just so that you know, whenever there are new products or limited quantities because it's seasonal or things like that, they usually sell out within days. So if you see something that you really, really love, make sure that you buy it before it sells out. Like I really wanted that adaptive bath oil. And so I made sure that I got it yesterday.
I actually got the Ancient Blend collection. They have frankincense and they have a couple of oils that I've never heard of. And I looked them up and I loved the benefits of those oils. So I made an investment on myself and I got them. So
nice.
I'm excited to.
There's also the lemon or the lime drops, like cough drops.
They're so good. I've had them.
Incredible.
Got 2 of them.
That's awesome. And then the new diffuser that looks very Japanese like, and it has Holiday Peace. Holiday Peace is a blend that's pretty much Christmas in a bottle. It's like just your nice holiday smell.
And Black Spruce is 10% off.
Black Spruce 10% off. And the free product of the month is Lindsey. And so that's one of those oils that's not available for sale either. It's only available for the promos. And for those of you who don't know what that is, when you're a customer and you're enrolled in the loyalty rewards program, when you place an order of 125 points, you get the free oil of the month.
As long as you do it before the 15th.
And then that's Lindsey, which is a citrusy essential oil. So I'm getting that too. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Peggy just asked.
Anyone knows the free oil this month, what is for? Okay. The Lindsey. Okay, so it's a citrus oil. Can you look up Lindsey? And I just sent it in the email, Mom. So if you look up my email that I sent you, the information is there. But citrus, you think of Lindsey as an uplifting oil. So really nice to use in the morning. And remember, we didn't mention this when we were talking about topical oils, but we all know that any citrus oils, we cannot put it on the skin if we're going to be going out into the sun because it can stain or burn us. Okay. Citrus oils, whether you do that with an essential oil or you're like doing it with a lemon, right? Put it on your skin.
It's not coming up on the search bar. I have to be logged in.
Okay.
Let's see.
But think of like the use of citrus oils, what you use them for, usually for uplifting aroma, uplifting your mood, things like that. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, Kira. I'm glad that she got the oil. Awesome. Yay. All right, you guys. I think this is it. Kristina, once again, thank you so much. Thank you all for being present and watching and listening and asking questions. We love you so much and hope to see you next Tuesday. And remember, if you can make it, that's all good. We'll send you the recording.
Thank you guys. So nice to
Bye.
see your faces. Mwah.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.